Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can. Oops. Oh man. If you are here in the future, my stream's crashed, so I'm trying to reconnect right now. Sorry, I can't edit this part out. All right, yeah, I'm live again, so let's see here. Try that. Dang, what a pain. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll try one more time, and if we keep having these troubles, we'll just postpone. I'll try and sort all this stuff out. So, what a major pain. At least I noticed and we didn't start the thing. So, yeah. So, we'll just try this one more time. And if it keeps doing this, I'll just try and troubleshoot it. Because the problem is, too, I don't want too many videos for something that's not going to take me that long. You know, I don't want 3 videos. So, we'll see if it crashes one more time. I checked my internet speed. I have really great internet, you guys. It's like 47.7 download and 46 upload. Yeah, sorry about that, PJ. I'm having a lot of troubles lately, and I think it's not on my end, which is crazy. So it's really hard for me to sort that out. All right, cool. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you about the tools. So if you guys are interested in the pattern drafting tools, I did see Grainline Studio is selling a package of them. There's an awl in there. So really you just need these things to make your patterns, this to store your pattern if you want. You just cut a big hole and then you can hang your pattern pieces up. And you need an awl or a screw punch. A screw punch is pretty fancy for beginning pattern drafting. I didn't get one of these for like 20 years. And really, it's just a very classy way to put a nice clean hole in the middle of a pattern. It is not necessary, and it's a very expensive item. And you have to replace the tips. There's lots of different tips in there. So really, all you need, I would say, is this, the tracing wheel, if you're going to trace patterns. This, if you want professional looking notches, you obviously do not need fancy notches, you know, but this is nice and handy. And if you're going to hang your patterns up on a closet dowel, this is really great as well. So I'll just tell you that. But if you just want it all nice and clean and easy to use because you just want to take as much frustration out of it and make it as easy as possible, that little kit they're selling is really great. The awl, I don't know what the awl, if you have this, I don't know what the awl is for unless they like to use it to walk seams with, but I don't use one of them to walk seams with. That's a very sharp awl. I don't sew with that kind. I sew with the tapered one. So, all right. So I just thought I'd tell you guys about that. So I'm hoping the stream stays. Did you guys all find me again? And we'll just copy Loki's little coat here. I'm just gonna use my tracing wheel to trace around it. He's, you know, pugs are kind of notoriously barrel chested. So they're kind of hard to fit. They don't have a neck. This thing fits him really good though. It's just I had to do little belly extenders and neck extender. So, all right, so let's see. There's my, I'm gonna leave that. I might just make this go like this. Like that. Yeah. So, what are sock clips, Glenn? Yeah, what are those? All right, I don't usually do pattern drafting with a Sharpie, but it's a little easier for you to see if I do the Sharpie. I'm gonna do right angles there, and I'm just gonna draw in all these holes. I forgot to put, I knew I needed to do something over there. The placement for, I'm gonna put in a placement for the hole here. We'll do that, and then placement for his little belly strap. Now I'm paranoid, I keep looking at the stream thing. Okay. Like that, and then here is my little hole. So, I wonder if they don't put it in the seam because they want it to be reinforced. It could. He's not going to get a lot of wear and tear. Like, it's not going to be a big deal. He's got a harness, so that helps. I need a seam allowance here. So we'll add, I'm going to add like 3/8, I think. And yeah, I think that this is pretty good. Oh. And do you just buy them on your own, Glenn? That's smart. They're secure. I kind of got off track there. I'm not going to make a fancy pattern, you know. I don't really need it to be too fancy. This will be easier. This way I can have a few coats for Loki because, you know, they get dirty when we're out there because he's so low to the ground. And then, you know, I have more to wash. I don't have to like wash it every time I take him on a walk because he gets walked a lot. All right, so I'm gonna put my drill holes. So this is where you would use that screw punch. I was doing like 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch depending on the item inside the piece. There we go. And then we'll use our notcher right here. I like to highlight my markings like that. And then, let's see. I'm going to use this as a measurement. Now I just need a collar because, you know, the collar's kind of cute. Ah, really, Len? Yeah. We are indeed surrounded by plastic. It is a problem. All right, so you can tell this little collar has some curve to it. At first I thought it was Peter Pan style, that it laid nice and flat, but it doesn't. It does have a roll right here. So that means it does have some shape to it that is gives it a little bit of like oomph, you know? So it sticks up against the neck and it's just not like flat like a Peter Pan collar would be. I'll show you how you get that. Like say you want to do it on a t-shirt, or I mean a t-shirt. No one really wants a convertible collar on a t-shirt. But let's see, let's pin this. I have one pin here. Where'd that one pin go? I saw it. Where's that one pin I saw? Oh, here it is. Sometimes one pin is all you need. I just want to mark the center here. There we go. Oh, that's right. That wasn't. So now that's interesting. See, we checked this, that's the center. I think I might need to add to that piece. Huh. No matter how many times you try it, sometimes it's still a little bit off. That's why you gotta check it over and over again. All right, so say you do want to add a collar to a shirt that has, you know, with a neckline, like a woven shirt. The way you go about that is you're going to put your paper on the fold. We'll do it on a Sharpie, like this. Draw a straight perpendicular line. This is your center, back, neck, okay? So if you want to add a convertible collar and the neckline of the shirt is in the right spot, what you do is you measure your neckline on the seam on the back neck and mark it right here. That's your shoulder line. And then you find the shoulder to the center front neck. You can mark that there. But then you're going to add a little bit to this line, a parallel line. So we can start with a 1/2 inch like this. You're just going to put a parallel line there. And now you're going to take this measurement again from shoulder to center front and mark it on this. So you're going to need a nice little gentle line here. And then you're going to mark it right there. Now that is your collar neckline. Now you can, if you want a really high roll like the 70s had, this line is up higher. You know, you're talking here. If you want a really gentle one, it's down lower. So that's it. And then you draw your parallel line of your collar height. And then this point also is up for debate. So the point coming out like here, 70s, here, 80s. You know what I mean? So just need to put your point of your collar, and then what you do is cut it out and try it on. So that's kind of a quick primer on how to do that. Oh, right, Beverly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can totally use that stuff. And if there's wrinkles in it, you might even try putting it under a piece of fabric and with low heat ironing it to smooth out the wrinkles. That stuff it will crack over time, and it can stick to itself because it's so crystal clear. But it is a really great way to learn how to work with vinyl, because it's hard to work. That vinyl is kind of hard to work with. So it's kind of a good, really put you through the ringer, you know? All right, so where's my little collar? My little collar's right here. So let's draw it in. I have my little dots that tracing wheel just added. Oof, I cannot see it. Let's check it. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, and so this is my neckline. Right here, and I'm gonna measure here. I think I might add right here though, you know? I think I wanna just add a little bit. Because I added to his belly of Velcro, it definitely means that he has some room, you know? So I'm gonna cut this off. So and then I can check my neck line. And I have so much left over of that cotton Sherpa. I thought I would use it as the lining of the thing. And then that way, you know, it's cotton. It's a little more breathable than that thing. Because I think that that's all synthetic. This is fully washable. It's fake. It's fake. fake suede and fake Sherpa, you know. Look at how badly that's sewn. They just put a little facing around the hole. All right, I'm gonna put my notches back in here. In fact, really what I could do is, I think what I'll do is put a little shape right here, like this. To make it a little easier to put the collar through, the leash through. All right, so now we have that, and then we have our collar here. All right, so let's see, let's measure, where does this come to on like 5.5 on this one. I don't know if I put seam allowance on this for the neckline. Where'd my pencil go? All right. Fine. I'll lose my pencil. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Okay. You guys can see it, can't you? That's what I want. I want my pencil. So there's my 5.5. Here. It's a little longer. I'll make it a little bit longer, and I'm going to add some seam allowance to it because I'm going to actually sew the collar right sides together and turn it. I'm kind of just winging it here. It's a dog coat, right? Definitely want my right angles. And so then once I make my fabric, I'll cut the coat out. The last tool you would need in that pouch is scissors. So if you only wanted to spend or get the most essential things for your pattern drafting, these for me are it. It's really easy to cut accurately with pattern scissors because you have these really short blades, and that makes the maneuverability in the tight spaces and curves, because you really sometimes have some really tight curves. That's really key. And I would get a really nice pair. These are my pair that my college gave me when I was 18 years old. I have another pair that I bought because I was like, you know, I'm going to upgrade and get a new pair. They're not as nice. They look identical. They don't work as nice. They don't stay as sharp, and they're not as accurate. So this one says Vebros on it. I don't know if they're still making it, but these are my pattern scissors, and I've had them for 30 years now. Okay, let's mark our neck, center back neck, and now we have our pattern pieces, except for the belly band. We need a belly band right here. Let's see here. I think I'll make it 12 by 2.5. This is a little too long for him, but it does make it really easy to go, whoop, you know, so. Two and a half. Let's add some seam allowance. I'll just do 1/4 inch because it'll be easier to turn it. So we'll do 3 inches wide. And then the 12. Plus I'll add that 1/4 inch right here. I'm not going to do that curve quite yet because I want it to be symmetrical. So I'm going to cut my long sides first. And I think I'm just going to cheat and cut this, fold it in half. When the word fold escapes you, I'll fold it in half and do it. I would normally I would draft this little curve on the tip of this belly band on a different piece of paper, and then I would transfer it to my final piece. But, you know, dog coat that I'm not like marketing and selling. So, oh, I had some questions I wanted to ask you guys. So I kind of want to start having a routine for certain streams, you know, one of which is maybe like one day a month. I don't have a like project. Maybe it's just a personal project. Like the guinea pig would be a good one for that, right? Or my mom's hillside tote, you know, stuff like that we've already streamed, or maybe they're not like, you know, something people really want to see, but we can just hang out and sew together. So I think one day a month I'd like to do that. I'm going to start trying to do really short. Feel like I keep saying this to you guys and I don't do it, but this year I'm making plans. So well, that's not that great. Let's fix this a little bit. So, doing some really short pattern tip videos, like how to do a FBA, a full bust adjustment, or how to do a full bicep adjustment, or how to do this adjustment to pants. Like just like 10-minute long quick tip videos, and then there'll just be a library. You can look for the one you want, you know? And maybe something's a little more in depth occasionally for Patreon. This is better. Let's see how it looks. I feel like it dips right there. Yeah, see, I feel like it dips right there. Well, that's not okay. Weston, are you watching me live right now? I see your comment. I have my phone on silent over there because usually if like Brooke were watching, she'd be like, yo, someone asked you a question. I'll see it over there. Or she'll be like, someone's talking on Twitch. So I can see someone commenting on YouTube videos. And if you, Weston, are watching me live, you're commenting on the video, not in the chat window. So look to the right. Depends on what device you're on. There's like gray text. It's really small, and it says show chat. And you can talk with us there if you're there. Yeah, right, Malin? Exactly. Yeah, so I think like just having them really short and sweet, you know, because I appreciate really short videos. Right? So I was thinking about doing that. What was the other thing I was thinking of? Oh, I promised a long time ago that I would tell people how I ran Chicken Boots, like how I managed production, how I did some of the things I did, and I don't know if people are really that interested in that. I feel like it's such a specific audience, but it'd be nice to get it all off my chest, you know, because it was kind of a feat. All right, so I think I only need about 5-inch piece of Velcro here and a 3-inch piece of Velcro here. So let's just write that. We'll put 9 inches of 1.5 inch wide Velcro, or hook and loop. Velcro is a brand name. I sometimes say hook and loop because I'm trained. All right. And then, what's the other thing I was thinking of? I was thinking also, like, maybe we could do, eventually, if we kind of got into the routine, we could do a Ask Sarami type of stream where you're like, I want to know how to do this specific thing. And if you start emailing them to me or letting me know and I write it down, and then we just go over all of them at once. And that way I can have like a sample and we can do it really quick together. So That's another idea. All right, I'm gonna put my pattern pieces aside. I'll put the hole in them. So here's my other pattern tool, my rabbit punch, which you guys have seen. It's gonna make the camera shake a little bit, sorry. And this is how I use those pattern hooks right here. They just go through. These are really great. Like, it seems like such a simple thing and such a like it gilds the lily. But the thing is, if your pattern's hanging on the hook, you don't have to remove it from the dowel to get a pattern piece off. That's what makes these brilliant. Oh, good, Louise. Yeah, and I feel like that'll help me have a good, solid schedule of things. And it also could cut down on the projects I'm sewing, which for me, that's a good thing only because if I don't have projects to sew, I'm not going to go out and buy something at this point. I just have to watch that kind of stuff. So I am looking for more sponsored streams, and another pattern designer was super excited. I reached out to her, so that might come to fruition at some point. She's really busy right now. And then of course Hearts is fantastic. They send us projects all the time. And I haven't put myself out there very much. I haven't approached very many people. So that's on me. So, we'll get there. All right, so this is what I made my daughter's Archer out of. So let's get some fabric scraps here. It won't take much. His little coat's gonna... Here's mine. Here's my husband's. So I was thinking I get all those. And then I have my toaster sweater zipper. Well, it's toaster sweater fabric. But I think I did this zipper tutorial for the high neck sweatshirt. So I'm just going to cut the zipper off here and see if I can use any of this. When you never know, you're going to use your scraps, I can feel something sharp. Oh, there it is. It's so dry here right now. This is for the pug, Megan. Yeah. The little princeling. Just trying to get some fabric scraps here. I don't know if any of these would be big. So the book, the squares in that book tend to use big squares, big sizes. So I'm gonna do them smaller so that, because the coat's so small, and I really don't need much surface area. So yeah. All right, let's see here. We can get this piece here. There's a seam right there, so we'll just cut that off. We'll cut this off. There's a piece. I thought I had more of this fabric, but I guess this is all I have. This fabric is amazing. I kind of wish I would have got some of it. One of you got another colorway of it. It's so cool. Yeah, and I really want to do more for Patreon, and I probably can't for a little bit because of the patterns that, one of the patterns is coming out soon. I'm just waiting on printing it at the copy shop and seeing how that turns out. And I'm waiting on one page, had a few edits. She says she's not doing them until Monday. So it's not much, but all right, so now we have that. Hopefully I can use that after all that work. And then I have this piece of flannel for one of Cricut's 4-H sewing projects. What is going on here? Is this the selvage? Oh yeah, that is the selvage. Okay. Is there a nice piece to cut off? Oh, it's like... Gosh, I have like a yard of this. I have more of it. So we'll just cut. I'll just leave that for now. Alright, so let's see. My small... I think I'm going to do like little squares like this. So I'm going to get, this is a pocket I didn't use, obviously. We'll do, yeah, this will kind of work. Okay, so we have, yeah, 4 fabrics there, and then maybe some of this. So you would use what for a dog, Megan? This? Yeah, so I don't need much. So let's see. So for the surface area of this little jacket, we'll need about 16 of these. So we'll do like 24 of them. You would not use it for a dog. And then, so it's 24 of them. This is how I figured out my coffee thing too. This piece is on the bias here, so we'll kind of be careful of this. So that. Two. Can I get 2 out here? Yeah. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I do 6 piles. Oh, but there's no, I actually only need 5 piles, I think. For 5 fabrics. 1, 2, 3. One, two, 3. Hi, Daphne. How's it going? I don't know how interesting this is late night. Sleep well. Hi, Jan. How's it going? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. This part actually might not be that interesting because I'm just going to make some squares. Just utilizing my scraps. This is such nice flannel. 1. I don't need much of the yellow, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. It looks like a sleeve, but it's not. 2, 3. 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if I don't have enough of the one-eyed archer. Yeah, right, Megan? I know, me too. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll be like, oh, I don't really want to get in bed quite yet. So I'll see if someone's streaming, and then I'm like falling asleep. 1, 2. 2. 3. This is so fluffy. I don't know about that. 4. 5. I only need 5 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I think I have plenty of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, perfect. I just need 2 of these and 2 of the Archer that I just made. Perfect. And then we'll be sewing these together tomorrow. But I'm going to cut out the lining of my little coat right now. Plus I need, I was going to make 2. I was going to make a flannel one in these winter fabrics. Because look at this. Isn't this hilarious? It'll look like a little sweater. Hi, Sydney. How's it going? So I thought that would be fun. And then I have this Sherpa. It's really soft, but it's cotton. So it's not like sheep Sherpa, you know, or the fake sheep Sherpa. It's a little stretchy, though. So I got to be kind of careful. And I think I might add an interlayer of his jacket and maybe either some cotton batting, or I have some wool felt actually I was thinking of using, you know, maybe one of them with wool felt, one that's not. I don't know, I feel like that'll be not too hot. All right, so let's just cut all these. And then I can stack them. This is when, oh, you know what? I'm going to go get my little cool nifty tool. I never get to use it. This thing right here. Because it rotates. You know? This is so ASMR, I bet. How low? Oh, it's not very cold here. It's been really cold here for us lately. I actually argue with locals here that I'm like, it's not that cold here. You know? So if it gets in the 30s, that's rare. This is too thick because of the seams in it. So let me pull it off. But, you know, I used to live somewhere on the coast in Northern California, and it didn't get much lower, but it was a lot colder because it was very wet there, you know? I'm not too worried about the green line. I know. Terrible, right? I can't do that many. Okay. Dang, I don't know if I could be I'm still picking it up. I need to rotate it. Rotate it. I got this for my quilt making class, and then I always picked it up, you know? I never really got the hang of using it. Good thing I'm not a quilting streamer. I feel like I would bore you guys to tears. Because I haven't, you know, they'd have all these really great quilting stories and stuff like that. I was at the fabric store yesterday, you know, like I said, and they had these like massive die cutting machines. Me and my mom were just like, whoa. So, you did, Laura? You have one of these that's 10 times this? Wow. I got mine so it was portable for the class. But I tend to be one of those people that I don't like doing any of my prep when I'm somewhere else. I want to have everything ready to go. And I don't take classes regularly, so I really didn't know what to expect. I wanted to not be that student that was doing something that everybody else was like, oh, what a noob. So I wanted to be as prepared as possible. And so I got everything on the list, and then I just had cut everything out at my shop. None of those people would have thought that way about me, but you know what I mean? You're just like, your anxiety is like, ooh. So, yay, Jan! Thanks for doing the Home Sew Catwalk. I know. I've thought about asking the Sew Over 50 organizers if they would help me get some traction on that, just because I feel like it's so useful, you know? I like seeing garments in motion. I feel like guys do it more often, which is great. They like to strut their stuff and show it because they're you know, maybe talking about something practical, so it works for why they're doing it. All right, here, can I get 2 more right here? I think so. I have a lot of this left. I was thinking about making a vest in it. All right, these are my last ones for these fabrics here. And this will make, I think, I'm doing 5 and there's 6 times 5, 30 squares. I need a few less than that, but some of these squares won't turn out nice. They won't look good. All right. Yeah, I think so too, Louise. And it's not like I profit from it, you know, so it's not like I'm trying to promote something. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Stack up my fabrics like this. And then stack it up. Stack it up. We'll get it all ready. I'm glad the stream stayed too. All right. I'm being way more methodical this time about my fabrics, which maybe I'll have a better result. Like this. I don't know if I can cut through all these stacks. All right, so now I take this stack and on this one, I'm gonna do I think the crazy style one. So I'm gonna just do a cut like this. And then I'm going to put this one at the bottom like this. And now these are ready to sew together. Like this. We love sewing curves, right? That one's gonna be too skinny. It's not too skinny, but it'll be different. Look at my bin. It looks so cool. All right. That one's ready. And now I'm going to do this one. And I think I'll do a different design. I'm going to do this leaf design. Okay. 2, 4. Yeah, this is plenty. 2, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 fabrics again. And if I do 6 piles, I'll have 30 squares. You like that? Can you hear my clock, Glenn? I'm sorry. Yeah, Beverly, we are. I'm making the fabric for the dog coat. And I'm using the techniques from this book where she cuts them apart and sews them back together, and then cuts them again and sews them together, and then you make your fabric. So. So, yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to do 5. Yeah, the clock, you know, usually I don't hear it because I have music going or something. Remember early on, I had all these little, like, these guys here. And some of mine were really loud. You could hear them. I had to hide them. They made so much noise. In fact, one time I was alone in my old studio, and I just could not figure out what the noise was I was hearing. God, it turned out it was those. Someone gave me, I think my husband gave me this for Christmas. This is memories. When I see some of these fabrics, I'm just like, oh boy. All the things I used to do. 2, 2, 4. I really don't need much. These squares might be a little small for this technique, but we'll try it. It actually might be a little too time consuming for the stream too. I may end up not even being able to sew both of these. That's probably what'll happen, you know. Oh, really, Karen? Aw. Yay. That's awesome. I wonder why there's a star on there. Some long forgotten message to myself. It might have been just to say that it's mine. There you go. All right. Yeah, I have a feeling that when I sew the fabric together, we'll find that I can only do one of these on camera. Yeah, that book is really cool. All right. I have all these, like, it looks like knitting. It was a holiday group we did for Chicken Boots. 2, 4. 2, 4. I've had this fabric for years. I'm barely dipping into it. So much for using scraps. Right. Maybe what I'll do is, what do I have to do today? Well, there's plenty I should be doing. I think what I'll do is, maybe I'll try and sew one of these together, the fabric for it. I'll see. I feel kind of guilty doing things like that. Ooh, there's a lot of this one. This is a snowflake print. See the theme here? Oh, I don't know if you're still here, Andy, but I looked high and low for a good fabric for my husband for another Fairfield yesterday, and I didn't find one. So, I I was going to do it next week. So, sorry, not happening next week, but it will soon. I have made it, but, you know. I'd like to make one where I do the shirt sleeve placket, you know, the really nice one with the point. And I was like, ooh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he really needs another flannel shirt, but also I can't wait too much longer, otherwise he won't need it at all. So then I was like, oh, I'll do a short sleeve, and then I'm like, oh, then I can't do the placket, you know? So, trying to figure it out. I know he got me something for Valentine's Day, and I'm really lame about that stuff, you guys. I'm really lame about anniversaries and Valentines. I just don't really, I don't require that. I'm not high maintenance like that. Not that that's high maintenance, but you know what I mean. Like, that's not the kind of thing that floats my boat. And so, but I know he got something, and I know it's something I'm really going to like, I think. So I'm like, oh, shoot, I really need to step up my game this year. Usually I'm traveling, and so I forget about it. And this year we're both home at the same time. He's gone right now. He's gone still for another few more days. So, oh no, Beverly. Oh, and you're gonna use the fabric. That's cool, right, Megan? You mean like knowing he had some? I saw the package and who it was from, and I was like, you got a package from, you know, this it's an artist that I really like. And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, shoot. Obviously, this is pre-washed. It's so thready. Let's get rid of some of these. I sometimes will serge my fabrics before I pre-wash, but not always. I'm just glad I pre-wash, you know? Hey, Stephanie, how's it going? Yeah, you're kind of I'm sorry your paperwork was tedious, but you're kind of at the tedious part of my stream. I decided I'm going to make the fabric I'm using for the dog coat, and so I'm kind of like using this interesting piecing technique for making the fabric from some scraps. So I'm cutting all the fabric for it right now. This is my last set of squares. That looks a little uneven. I never get to use these quilting rulers that I have, so that's kind of fun too. I didn't get them for quilting. Do you hate it when that happens? Okay. All right. So let's see here. We have these. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jan. He doesn't have a sweet tooth. Right, Laura? You know I'll get out of practice by the next time I need to do it, though. I know, Megan, I know. I was actually looking for so he bought an RV last year. He's been wanting an RV for a really long time, like years and years and years. And so he finally got one, but he got it at the end of RV season, you know. And so, what do I want to see together? I think I'm going to do it this way. And so I got him a national park pass. So in our country, like most countries, we have the national parks, right? But you can get a passport for it. So I got him a passport so he can visit them all for free. I mean, it costs, but it's like a pass for that. And then I also got him a passport book because every national park has their own passport stamp. It's just a fun thing. So I got him one of those. And then I was kind of like, well, I don't know what someone who owns an RV needs, you know, and that's person's me, you know, I'm the person, you know, we own it. So I don't know. I don't want to get him things. I don't want to just start buying things. I'm kind of an anti-stuff person unless you really need it. And it doesn't need curtains because that would be really fun. fun, you know. Yeah, Megan, that's a good idea. You know what? And the other thing I was thinking of is what if I got him like a weekend away to use the RV? And maybe it could be our first time leaving our daughter alone. So, yeah. Stephanie. Yeah, so, yeah. That's my thoughts. I don't have much time. All right, so this one had this like leaf design in it. I was thinking about doing, because I was thinking sort of more like snowflake-ish. This one's called Windmills. I like this colors that she uses. Crossroads. These are a lot of these are really similar. So this is the gal, Sujata Shah. I don't know how you say her name. She's the Root Connection on Instagram. So I like this one. And so I was just looking to see, so like the point is on either end of the square. That's what I wanted to see. I know, Sydney, it was really fun to buy those. But it was weird too. Like you have to buy it from one of the things from the USGS website. And it also made me realize, oh, I'm looking at two separate things. One is just this fun, like cool thing to do, having the little passport you have your stamps in. And I got him extra stickers so that he can just have a little pack of stickers that are the same size as the stamp with him wherever he goes, just in case he happens to be at a national park and he's not in the RV. And then you can take that sticker and put it in his passport book. Yeah, right, Megan? I know. I thought about that. Yikes. This is looking time consuming. Look how small these pieces are going to end up being when the seam allowance is gone. Yikes. Live and learn, right? I am definitely a noob. My friend would be so proud. Okay. So after I do this, I'm going to cut out the Sherpa of the coat. Really, Sydney? So that's not new. Huh. I thought those came out like 3 years ago. Maybe it's just because my friend bought one and she was telling me about it. Well, I thought that gal was my friend, but she just stopped talking to me. It was the weirdest thing. You know? So weird. Right, Megan? Yeah, it is a lot of work. I gotta entertain you guys somehow. All right. I'm just gonna go like this. That's my fancy way of keeping it track. And here's my others. I'll put those in there. And now I'll need that square. I don't need this. I don't need that. I do not need Edmund. I just need this Sherpa. It's too bright. But you know, he'll make a good model, Megan. Right? Okay, so think I have room to do 2 in this space here. Perfect. Do this one here. This stuff's a little bit stretchy. I got this from someone on Etsy, but I like how nice it feels. It's not like super gushy soft, you know, but at the same time it still feels good and it's natural fiber, you know, so it doesn't have that synthetic thing. My daughter has this thing about being shocked, you know, like electric shocks. She gets shocked more than anyone I've ever met. There's some, and I finally Googled it, that happens to some folks, that they get shocked more, they generate that electricity more. And I think she's definitely got something like that. So I knew I could not line her jacket with something that was going to make her get shocked, you know. I didn't really add a seam allowance there, so I'm just going to kind of add a little here and write a note to myself later. You know? Yeah, right, Megan? I know. Really, Nancy? Do the Sherpa in a large piece. Yeah, that's exactly, I mean, that helps, right? Cut down on the labor. Were you selling dog coats, Nancy? There definitely seems to be a market for it. Cutting is less than desirable. Let's try and, it's very stretchy, so it's not very, very stretchy. Like if you wanted to wear this as leggings, you wouldn't enjoy it, but it's stretchy for this little dog coat. So yeah. Sorry about the camera if it's moving. All right, I'm gonna leave it about right there. I'm gonna cut this out like that. And then we have the drill hole here. Damn it. Sorry. I didn't want to do that. I have to recut this one. That drill needs to go on the outside. I'm just going to leave it. No, I'm not. I can't do it. I cut this one. A nice big piece left. Still, I could make myself a vest. I don't really like things like minky and stuff. They are just too hairy. Be really gentle so that I'm not stretching it. This woman makes these beautiful quilts in this book, and I have to make them into dog coats. Hopefully she forgives me. All right, so now we just need the collar and strap. It's got a fair bit of, you actually could make this into leggings probably. All right. Your dog's didn't like it. Oh, that's cute. This is gonna lose shape, Megan. Yeah, but it'll be sewn to the other thing. And I'll stitch it through. It won't lose shape. It'll be fine. It's pretty sturdy. I need two of these and 2 of these. I might just cut out a solid fabric. Right? I know, right, Beverly? I'm usually trying to do the opposite of that, to be honest. I'm usually trying to convert quilters to be garment sewists. I need 4 of these. And I think I'll cut the other side of this belly strap in 1 piece of fabric. You know? I should do this on the rotating thing. Be easier. I'm trying to decide what to teach at my a couple places locally. I'm having so much trouble deciding. And it's scary, you know? Sewing or teaching in person, I don't know. More folks are really comfortable with sewing. Did I really just cut the... Oh, no, that's right. My pattern paper was short there. More people are more comfortable teaching in person than I am as far as like teaching pattern drafting. What gets me is how many people teach pattern drafting that are new to it. I'm like, I really need to like suck it up. Because usually I see beginners teaching it and they're just teaching what they learned, and which is great. But at the same time, there's not as much depth, you know? But I just feel like there's a lot of great people teaching it too. There doesn't really need to be one more person. All right, so now we have our collars. We have our coat, we have our belly strap, and now I'm just going to cut the belly strap. I think I'll do this and this. And then I'm done. Was there just a blue? And oh, it's just the snowflake. All right. I don't want it to look like I'm going for that red, white, and blue vibe though. So, oh, I'm sure they do, Jan. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I've actually seen someone teaching something I do and only I do. And I know they were someone who watched me. And they haven't been here in a while. And I was like, okay. It's on. So I actually I've had that happen a bunch, and I feel like it's because I'm small and I can get taken advantage of, because it's not like I can say, hey, that was mine, you know. People are like, who are you? Because a really big company has done it a bunch as well. And it's like, all right, well, someday maybe it'll all work out. Yeah, you know, so it doesn't really bug me because I've been around live streams probably longer than most people in the sewing world. Just not in the sewing world, like a lot of the live streams I've been in. And that stuff gets sorted out because there's a record on file on the internet. So I don't worry about it. There's other things I've gotten really upset about for being stolen from me because it was mine. And that, like my knit print design, that fabric, that has been used. Like I sell it as a fabric on Spoonflower, and this company was buying it, printing it on fabric and buying it from me. I think I've told you guys this. And they, and then I stopped making it available because I ended up putting it, I didn't know that at first. Like people would buy it and I was thankful and whatever. But you know, it's my right to sell my design on Spoonflower or not, right? And so when me and Rayanne, like 3 years after it was in the line, put it back in the line because people were just like, please bring back your stuff in your knit print. And I was just like, okay, well, my problem was finding binding to match it. And do I use the pearl print that I designed as the lining or something else? And so it wasn't as easy as people thought. Also, it made it less exclusive for the people who had gotten it originally. And I also didn't want to compete against people making things and selling it in my knit print. So there's that. And so we decided after a few years, and we did it. And so I removed it off Spoonflower for sale because I didn't want anyone to be printing it and using it while I was. And then that person, because I ended up having to go back and look and see because of this, that person who had been buying big chunks of it didn't have it anymore, and it was selling really well for them. And so they copied it, straight up copied it. So they didn't photograph my fabric, but it looked like they had. And I asked them really nicely, I was like, you know, and they didn't. What they did was they just used the exact same yarn and made it themselves. Like they did all the work themselves. But the thing is, they did copy me, right? They just didn't use my proprietary work. And so so when I asked them really nicely, they were very not nice back. And then I don't really want to go into all of it because I also don't want people to figure out who it was. But they ended up, the way we were trying to communicate was failing both of us. Like it just wasn't a great way to communicate with each other. And I totally admit that. We weren't getting all of each other's messages. And so we switched to, I contacted them directly through their shop. Their messages to me were so toxic. Like I was still just like, dude, I'm just checking because, you know, it looks just like my fabric. So I have to ask you because I know you were buying it from me. And now you're making it yourself. So you did copy it. So I asked them, and then I posted about it because I was like, I had to like reclaim it. And I was like, this is what's happening to me. Someone is copying my fabric and it feels really gross. But at the same time, you know what? Whatever. It's the purest form of flattery, right? Whatever. And I was like, I'm having a bad day about this. I never post that kind of stuff because it's really attention seeking. And I wasn't looking for attention. I just wanted to be like, yo, this is mine. You know? Well, their followers went after me like crazy. And then when people try to defend me on their site, they deleted all of the messages. So it only looked like the bad things. And so the weird thing was, those folks, they do more than sew something. They don't design things. They don't do their own pattern drafting. They just use this one design that they probably, it's like a basic design. It's nothing groundbreaking. But they started doing my technique of making fabric from the knit print on all kinds of yarns, knitting it up and doing it. And they weren't really like making it repeat very well. It's really hard to get a photograph to repeat, especially knit, because it's a continuous loop. And I could speak for hours about this and how hard it is. They weren't really putting in the time and effort, but it didn't matter. They had a really great selling thing and it was working for them and they were making money from it. And why would they stop and they were going to fight hard back, and they did. And so, but they ended up becoming really big because of other reasons. And I was just like, wow, it was tough. I was like, yeah, that's my fabric. And people were, that's not your fabric. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, kind of it is. You would never have done it if I hadn't done it first. And people were like, you didn't invent that. I'm like, no, I didn't invent this, but I did make it work. So, yeah, well, don't say Laura. Because whatever, it's been a few years, and it's just how it has to go, right? So, it's not worth it. But it was awful. Like, the whole thing was just so awful because I was just like, all right, cool, you're not copying me. You created it. That's fine. Whatever. Live long and prosper. Best of luck to you. And I backed away from it because they were, if I had ever put their messages out to the public, people would have been shocked at the things they were saying to me. They were so awful. And I was like, dude, I am not like, there's no reason to talk to me like that. I have every right to find out if you're copying my fabric when indeed it is my fabric, you know? Like, you've been using it, you didn't get access to it anymore, and now you're like, great, oh my God, this best, because it's the best looking one, you know? And no, I'm not telling you. It's no big deal. I don't even look at their page. I don't even know if they're even still using it. But it is. Yeah, right, Nancy? I mean, that's the way you got to look at it. But at the same time, it's just like, it's painful because they got really big. They got very well known. And that, I feel like that had part to kind of put them on the map a little bit as far as what they were selling. So, but I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't follow them before. I had never even heard of them before. But my friend said, have you seen this? And it was something else, like a product, like not a sewn product with my knit print on it. And then I was like, wait, that's my fabric. They can't make that into a design. So, no. You know, Megan, if we all knew all the things that all companies did, we'd have very few people left. And it is, like, I believe in, like, I'm not getting into politics, but I do feel like there's a lot to be said about being a business and standing up for certain things. But at the same time, some people's experiences with businesses are different than other people's. And so you can't really say, why do you support them? They were terrible to me. That's not really fair to them. They've had a positive experience, and their experience is true and valid, you know? Mine was different. So I don't really feel like I have to, I'm just not going to do that, you know? So, you know, and it's happened with So, you know, like there's folks I've reached out to, and I feel like people think I want something when I'm like, hey, you know, would you like me to sew your stuff for you? I'd be happy to do that, and you can keep it. You know, I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking for content. And some people get a little bit like, how dare you? You know, that's my design. And I'm like, I'm not taking your design. I just was wondering if you wanted a sample of it and a free video on how to sew it. You know, so people have different varying degrees of self-esteem as well, and sometimes you really got to be careful with some folks, and you got to tread lightly, and not, they can't really handle that kind of interaction. And so I just politely respect their boundaries, and I don't push the boundary for them. So I'm very comfortable with who I am and what I do, and if I ever had a blog, it would be called Come At Me Bro. Because I stand firmly on my 2 feet. So, yeah. Yeah, whatever, yeah. And it's been a few years. I doubt you'd find any record of it. It's no big deal. But I have had that happen, and everybody does, right? I mean, how many of us have seen a pattern come out, and we're like, wait a minute. Someone just did that pattern. You know? So. Oh, wow. Really, Barbara? Wow. An MLM company? So it was probably the legging company or something like that. Like those folks that do all those. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right, Malin? Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. And then they just got, yeah. Yeah, so it's really hard. Like, it is really hard. And these folks, like, they're not, like, bigger than me. At the time, they weren't, like, bigger than me. Chicken Boots did really well, you guys. We were making 10,000 items a year. So, I had two strong legs to stand on, and I had a really great customer base, and they were very, very supportive of me. So, like you guys, like I had a really good support network. It felt gross, and I had to be near them at a show for hours once. But I was really hoping they were just going to come by and say, hey, water under the bridge, sorry that went down so weirdly, because it was just weird, The whole thing was weird, and it could have gone down better, but they didn't. And I was hoping they would, and they were giving me that very strong vibe, like, don't you even come over here, lady. And I was just like, okay. So, like for me, I would much rather, like, I get really nervous when something bad happens and you have to confront someone. I get really nervous. Like right now, I get a little shaky even talking about all this kind of stuff, and I almost pass out because I have something called vasovagal syndrome. So I'll almost pass out when I have to, like, have the courage to do something or talk in front of a group of people. But at the same time, in some ways, I'm very justice bound, justice driven, and so I will just confront it, because otherwise it's going to eat me alive. And I just feel better about it getting it out there. I've said my piece, and okay, now we can just move on. And I was really hoping that they would just say, can we shake on it? And they didn't, So, yeah, exactly, Louise. I can't copyright it, Megan. I don't think so. It's on Spoonflower again, too. It was hard to put it back on there. It was really hard, because after we finished that run, a little bit while later, I put it back up there. Because you know what? I didn't want to hide. I was just like, hell yeah, this is my fabric. I'm really proud of it. I'm not a good fabric designer at all. And this one turned out really good. And if you guys don't know what fabric I'm talking about, this is it. It looks like knitting. So I had this made for me because I really love my knit print fabric. So it's a mouse pad that I had made. I have two of them. So and I have a pearl version, and I have a small and a large. So hi, Dirty, how's it going? So anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't. The thing is, Megan, it is copyright mine. If I put it out there in the world, that's mine. You don't need to file anything. It's not a patent. It is mine. I've printed it. It's my design. And it was really hard to determine that theirs wasn't mine, because they copied exactly what I did. They used the exact same brand of yarn and color. So the thing is, that is, they didn't break the law. I couldn't go after them. So, and they were right about that. It was just gross. Which is really gross. So that's all. I mean, there was just no integrity. That was all it was. So yeah, Louise, exactly. It was mine. I had been using it for years. So when, yeah, you know who it is, Laura. When that happened, and their customers were like, you didn't invent this. People have been doing that. I was like, well, I don't know how long I've had this. I looked for it and I didn't find what I needed out there, so I made it. So anyhow, thanks for riling me up, you guys. No. But yeah, so it's whatever. For me, water under the bridge. And if they wanted to shake on it today, I would totally shake on it. Like, I would much rather, like, look at each other eye to eye and be like, yo, yeah, that was a terrible way we communicated, and I really wish that would have gone better. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, just switch the A and the E. It's okay, Durdu. You don't have to spell my name right. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, Jan. It's what I say. There is record out in the world, and you know the thing is like, move on, right? I can't let it eat me alive. So I have been sitting in the background for a long time watching other people do things. So I can't really put myself out there very well, and I'm trying. So hopefully gradual things last longer. That's one of my mottos. So maybe the more gradual I build something, it'll last longer and be stronger. That's what I'm doing with the stream. Okay, cool, Laura. Yeah, so, well, I'm so sorry the streams have been hard to start. I'm going to try and troubleshoot this now that I have a whole day off in between today and Saturday when we stream again. I'm going to talk to, because the thing is I'm dealing with Streamlabs, Twitch, and YouTube, and I'm not sure where it's at. So I'm going to start with Streamlabs. They're really responsive. And plus, maybe it's a mob crush thing and I need to disable that. So thanks you guys for sticking with me. I'm really sorry the streams are not starting right away. I don't really know what's going on. I log out, I log back in, I've restarted. I've done everything they say. So, and I'm really sorry for those of you who like watching on Twitch and you have had to come over to YouTube if there's any of you here. So sorry about that. So yeah. Yeah, right, Megan? I mean, thanks. I love you guys too. Like, I keep thinking, like, okay, I'm going to need to put more work in these areas. I'm like, maybe I'll have to cut down a stream. And I'm like, no, I don't want to cut off a stream. Oh, your name is Selchuk? Selchuk? I'm going to Google how to say that. You told me to say Durju. So that's why I say. That's funny. A lot of, and some countries, people put their last name first. And so the second name is their first name. So, I have a phone call coming in. Why? That phone number looks so familiar. Suspicious. All right, you guys. Well, thanks so much for listening to my long drama-ridden story. And I'm looking forward to sewing this dog coat with you guys. Maybe I'll try and sew the fabric for the other one, and then that way we're ready to go. Add more. Megan, if I made more money from streams, I would. Ray, I had hi, Lisa. Ray, Lisa, that's awesome. Hi, Ray. Yeah, Ray, I actually couldn't go live, and then I did, and it crashed, and then I had to go back up again. So good night. So, love you guys. So, I will see you tomorrow, or Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific, and we'll sew the coat. Hopefully, we'll have some of these things worked out, some of these weird little stream hiccups, and it'll be seamless. It'd be nice to figure that out, because it's starting to stress me out. Every time I press that go live button. I've been starting early even, because I'm like, okay, I gotta get this sorted out. So, all right. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for the support, and hopefully Loki gets a couple coats soon. So, Malin, you stayed up late. All right, night, guys. I'll see you later, and have a great rest of your week. Happy sewing. So, Megan, we can talk. Let me know. Email me. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye, PJ. Thanks. Bye.